Reply to the address of welcome at Pamban. On the arrival of Swami Vivekananda at Pamban, he was met by His Highness the Raja of Ramnath, who accorded him a hearty welcome. Preparations had been made at the landing wharf for a formal reception, and here, under a pandal which had been decorated with great taste, the following address on behalf of Pamban people was read. May it please your holiness, part 1. We greatly rejoice to welcome your holiness with hearts full of deepest gratitude and highest veneration. Gratitude for having so readily and graciously consented to pay us a flying visit in spite of the numerous calls on you, and veneration for many noble and excellent qualities that you possess, and for the great work you have so nobly undertaken to do, and which you have been discharging with conspicuous ability, utmost zeal, and earnestness. We truly rejoice to see that the efforts of your holiness in sowing the seeds of Hindu philosophy in the cultured minds of the great Western nations are being crowned with so much success, and we already see all around the bright and cheerful aspect of the hearing of the excellent fruits in great abundance. And most humbly pray that your holiness will, during your sojourn in Aryavatra, will be graciously pleased to exert yourself even a little more than you did in the West to awaken the minds of your brethren in this our motherland from your dreary lifelong slumber, and make them recall to their minds the long forgotten gospel of truth. Our hearts are so full of the sincerest affection, greatest reverence, and highest admiration for your holiness, our great spiritual leader, that we verily find it impossible to adequately express our feelings, and therefore beg to conclude with an earnest and united prayer to the merciful Providence to bless your holiness with a long life of usefulness, and to grant you everything that may tend to bring about the long-lost feelings of universal brotherhood. The Raja added to this a brief personal welcome, which was remarkable for its depth of feeling, and then the Swami replied to the following effect. Our sacred motherland is the land of religion and philosophy, the birthplace of spiritual giants, the land of renunciation, where alone, from the most ancient to the most modern times, there has been the highest ideal of life open to man. I have been in the countries of the West, have traveled through many lands of many races, and each race and each nation appears to me to have a particular ideal, a prominent ideal running through its whole life. And this ideal is the backbone of the national life. Not politics, nor military power, not commercial supremacy, nor mechanical genius furnishes India with that backbone, but religion. And religion alone is all that we have and mean to have. Spirituality has been always in India. Great indeed are the manifestations of muscular power, and marvelous the manifestations of intellect expressing themselves through machines by the appliances of science, yet none of these is more potent than the influence which spirit exerts upon the world. The history of our race shows that India has always been most active. Today we are taught by men who ought to know better than the Hindu is mild and passive, and this has become a sort of proverb with the people of other lands. I discard the idea that India was ever passive. Nowhere has activity been more pronounced than in this blessed land of ours. And the great proof of this activity is that our most ancient and magnanimous race still lives, and at every decade in its glorious career seems to take on fresh youth, undying and imperishable. This activity manifests here in religion, but it is a peculiar fact in human nature that it judges others according to its own standard of activity. Take, for instance, a shoemaker. He understands only shoemaking and thinks there is nothing in this life except the manufacturing of shoes. A bricklayer understands nothing but bricklaying and proves this alone in his life from day to day. And there is another reason which explain this. When the vibrations of light are very intense, we do not see them because we are so constituted that we cannot go beyond our own plane of vision. But the yogi, with his spiritual introspection, is able to see through the materialistic veil of the vulgar crowds.